Good evening. Please put up a thumbs up if you can hear me. If you can hear me, please just like the video, put on the thumbs up. Awesome. So I think we're just going to give it another five minutes or so, and then we begin. Just wait for a few more people to join, and then we can start. Okay, we're just going to be waiting for a few more minutes. We start at exactly 7:34. We just wait for a few more people to join and begin. If you can hear me, please put a thumbs up, just a like or a heart. Just let me know you can hear me. Awesome. Thank you. Welcome, Gaga. Perfect. So it's 7:34. Let's begin. Uh, Welcome to the 30-minute sales gym by SNCT Marketing. Today's session is on objection handling. If you've missed the other sessions so far, this is episode 6. We've handled starting the conversation, we've handled asking questions, we've handled the 80-20 rule, we've handled quite a few sections of the sale. We're putting it together. Right now, we're going into objection handling. The goal of this session is you have to leave here today with one bit of information that you can take action on for the whole week. Take action, put whatever you're getting today into practice, and then you should be able to start seeing immediate results. So, objection handling. Most sales are not lost because of price, they are lost because of how objections are handled. So, for you who always gets the objection on price, you're too expensive, it's most likely not a pricing issue. Who is this for? This is for our sales reps, If you sell any product, if you're into sales, you want to improve your income, you want to make sure you're a top closer in your industry, this is for you. This is for business owners. You want to establish a business, or you already have established a business, but you want to start bringing in that consistent revenue into your business. This is for you. And also, business leaders, your managers, your heads of business development. So long as you're leading a team and you want that team to start improving, you've got KPIs you want to meet, this session is for you. Why me? My name is Carl Capapiro. I've been in sales for more than 18 years now. I've sold in more than 15 countries, high ticket, low ticket items. That's products ranging from as low as $10 to products ranging as high as 100,000 USD and more. So I've sold anything and everything from real estate, software, physical goods, uh, agricultural produce. Whatever you name it, I sell it. Services, anything that's sellable, I can sell. So those are the skills that I bring to the table, the experience I bring to the table. What are objections? A lot of people will be coming into this asking, what are objections? So, objections and rejection are two separate things. An objection is not necessarily a rejection, it's most likely a request from the prospect for certainty. Uh, Objections can be broken down into three categories, which will further break down. There's the lack of trust, which is, I'm not sure this will work. So they don't believe in the value you bring to the table. And then there's a lack of urgency. What you're pitching them is not a number one priority today. They would rather spend their money on something else. And then there's a lack of clarity. uh, it's too expensive. Usually, when you hear it's too expensive, they don't feel that you will be able to uh, cater to their needs. One thing I read today, I scrolled through a lot of social media. So one video I scrolled past highlighted that in if your client isn't buying from you, it's not the economy is bad. It's not that people don't have money. It's just that they are spending it elsewhere. And the likelihood is they are spending it with people who can explain value better than you. So, some statistics to back up the conversation why we're talking about objection handling. 60% of customers will say no at least four times before they say yes. They'll Majority will first say no before they buy anything. 48% of sales reps never follow up after the first objection. So the price is too high, they walk away. They don't do the continuous follow up. Only 2% of sales happen on first contact. So if you're a person who believes that the second you make the call, you should close the deal, only 2% of sales happen in the first contact. Top performers are two times more likely to ask questions before responding to objections. That's how do you clarify what the underlying cause of the objection is? How do you know whether the objection is related to value? Is it related uh, to simply not understanding the product? What is the cause of the objection? Uh, Top performers ask questions before responding to objections. Objection handling improves close rates by up to 64% when done correctly. So, if you don't know how to handle objections, simply put, you're gambling. You're having conversations, but chances of closing are very low. So, most sales people will lose the deal at the first no. Top performers lean into it, they ride the wave. Why are you saying no? So this is 4-step objection handling framework. You can take note of this, screenshot, or write in your notebook if you have one. Remember, this is supposed to be for giving you value so that you can take action. So this is a 4-step objection handling framework you can use for any product so long as you're selling and there's an objection. Number one, listen. Listen. We talked about listening. It's been a major theme in the last 6 episodes. So listen and don't interrupt. Let the prospect speak. Actually, it's pretty well known that people love to talk about themselves when given the chance. So let the prospect talk. Acknowledge, validate, but don't agree. So it's too expensive. Don't agree that yeah, it's expensive. Validate, meaning be empathetic. I understand what you mean, right? I understand your point of view, but don't agree to the objection. Clarify. So ask questions, get more clarity. Uh, Simply put, it would look something like, if I get it right, you mean that this, or could you please elaborate? Maybe I'm not understanding you well. Please clarify. What do you actually mean? And let them continue talking and explaining. Only after listening, acknowledging, and getting clarity do you respond. So at the end is when you now handle the objection, when you understand the cause of the objection. Uh, Explaining too early is premature. So you want to wait until you have full understanding of the problem. For example, that's a fair point. This is to do with acknowledgement. That's a fair point. Can I ask what specifically makes you feel that way? Okay, so acknowledge, uh, don't sh- shove their concern under the rug, sweep it under the rug, so to speak. So, not every no is the same. There are 3 completely different situations where you might get a no. Uh, the first one is uh, time wasters. So, you've got your time wasters, then you've got your objections, and then you've got your rejection. Those are 3 different things. And as a top salesperson, you have to learn how to differentiate time wasters from actual genuine objections and full blown rejection. Misreading this is equivalent to wasted time, because you'll be focused on someone wasting your time, literally, time wasters, and you will lose deals because you're not focused on the right people. So, misreading these 3 could lead to time wasted and lost deals. So, let's break down time wasters. Time wasters are low intent. They usually don't have the intention of buying. That's what we mean by low intent. So, people who engage but have no real intention of buying. How do you identify time wasters? They have a million and one questions. They want to know how this works, how that works, but they never commit to signing the contract or to making a deposit. They want to know the features on the phone. They want to know uh, everything about it, but they're not willing to take money out of their pocket. Is there a promotion? They're always asking you those questions. They usually avoid pricing conversations. So the second you mention something like, okay, I'm willing to negotiate on price, or the let me break down the price for you, they'll drive you away from that conversation back into more questions. Uh, they will come in and say things like, I'm just browsing. They are window shopping. And then after a few details, you've sent them the proposal, you've sent them the price of the product you're selling, they go quiet, they start ghosting you, they blue tick you, what we call blue ticking. So those are your time wasters. They want information, but they don't really need it today. They are not looking for a change in their current situation. They just need to know the information. Now, what is a rejection? So remember, we've got time wasters, we've got objections, and then rejection. So we're going to go into rejection first, which is a hard no. So if a person is rejecting you, there are a few reasons. The product, there's no product fit, product to problem fit. You're not really going to solve their problem, and they're just not interested in what you have to say. So if you learn to identify that, uh, remember, not everyone is your client. So if you get a no, in some situations, you're not going to be able to switch or change their mind. Uh, so this usually is, this is not for me. Someone tells you this is not for me. It's a hard no. You going in and asking why isn't it for you is just elongating the conversation. Maybe you want to do research and find out why a lot of rejection is coming your way, but in most cases, it's not for me. It's not for me. If they said we're not interested, they send you an email, we're not interested at the moment, and then you follow up with, oh, I'm sorry you're not interested. Please explain why. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Uh, Budget and need mismatch. Listen, my budget is 5 million, uh, but you're quoting me 50 million. Can you go down to the 5? No. Okay, so I'm walking away. No matter what you do, they're not going to get their budget to 10x, maybe 7, 8 million. So if you're not willing to go down to them, then there's clearly their need does not meet your expectation. It's not at the level of problem you solve. Their need is still at a 5 million need. The problem you're solving, you feel it's a 50 million need. Remember, not everyone is your client, and that should be something that sticks with us as sales reps. We should learn when to walk away. Now, objections. These are your high value guys. Objections, the formula for that is they have interest, they're interested in your solution, but they are uncertain. So, what you're looking at is how do we handle that uncertainty? So, statements you will hear from objection people or your high value leads is it's expensive without necessarily saying no. It's expensive is usually a sign of value mismatch. You aren't really showing the value. I need to think. That's urgency, which we discussed earlier. And will this work for me? They don't really know. You've not really shown or demonstrated how your service, your product will work for them and their organizations. One thing is clear: if you learn to differentiate this, you realize objections are actually buying signals. You should be happy to have objections. Reactive and proactive objection handling. This is a topic we're going to cover in detail later on. So, reactive is waiting for the objection to come, waiting for the prospect, the lead, to say it out loud. And then proactive is making sure you've put in the necessary steps before the presentation to handle, to actually handle the objection so that it never comes out of the uh, lead's mouth. It's very effective if you're proactive and you know how to do it. Very effective. It increases your close rate. So majority of us, we are reactive, but hopefully by the end of the 52-week session, right now we're in week 6, uh, you'll be able to be more proactive than reactive. So remember to close. Now, in objection handling, one thing is important. After handling the objection, remember ABC, we discussed ABC, I believe that was last week's session. So after handling the objection, avoid asking for more questions. Do you have any more questions? Uh, Try and go straight into a close, which is okay. So, yeah, you've explained the value. Now go into something like, uh, with that being said, how soon will you be ready to start? So you go into your presumptive clause, which we discussed in the previous week. The recordings for all the sessions are always on YouTube. You'll find it on YouTube, uh, at least for the next 52 weeks. I'm not going to be taking them down. Please revisit the videos. And if you've missed, you're joining for the first time, you can always revisit the content. Which objection do you hear the most? So if you could, you can put this in the comment section. Which objection do you hear the most? Just type it in there. Alternatively, we've set up our mastermind group. We're just putting some final touches on it. But this week we should have the mastermind group in circulation. It's free to join. You join. We have a very little criteria we require, uh, and then you get approval to join. So it's not 100% open. It's for people interested in sales, and people who actively sell a product. So that will be open. You can type that objection in there. We'll work as a mastermind to handle objections. Meanwhile, write it in the comment section, and we can give you tips before the end of the session today. So again, we're launching the mastermind. The sales mastermind is ready. We're going to be adding the link in the description of the saved video. It's a WhatsApp group. It's ready. If you're ready to start closing more deals, feel free to join. I'll be posting content in there regularly. So what's next? So far, we've covered the last 2 weeks, ABC, and this week, objection handling. Next week, we're going into buyer persona and then closing techniques. And we'll have a new string of topics that we'll be covering. So this session again is 7:30 to 8 p.m. every Wednesday. I try to keep it within 30 minutes because I understand your time is valuable. And in the evening, you have other things you'd want to do. So we keep it short. We make it impactful in the shortest period of time. Remember, if you have questions, if you have your objection, please put it in the comment section. I'll be answering them shortly. The goal of SNCT marketing is to help businesses grow their revenue. Simple, straightforward, measurable results. We want you to increase your revenue. As a sales rep, I want you to be the best sales rep in your industry. How we do that, we provide one-on-one coaching, events and activities, which we'll be launching soon, a mastermind for sharing knowledge, which we've launched, and then the organizational training and sales strategy audit. So that's our business facing consultancy. About us, our mission: develop strong sales teams, improve sales, how business is done in Uganda. So our goals: to train and develop individuals, strong organizations, and also to improve how business is done in Uganda. With that being said, I hope this was impactful. I hope you've gotten the balance between what a rejection, objection, and uh, so you've got your rejection, your objection, and your time wasters, and you've seen a few tips on how to handle that. Plus, you've got the 4-step framework of handling objection. If you've got questions, again, please feel free, put them in the comment section. We already have a service provider. I'm seeing one for we already have a service provider. So, unfortunately, in some cases, service provider means they have a contract. Uh, the only thing you would be able to do, depending on your industry, is finding out what is their decision making process on service providers? Is it pricing? Is it, are they having challenges with the current service provider? So there you could probe a bit further. If it's a contract that they are in, when is the contract expiring, and what would be the criteria of them choosing service providers in future? This is usually with organizations that are going to be doing bids and tenders. So once they've made opened up for pre-qualification, usually they don't go to service providers outside of that group that they've pre-qualified. So I would suggest focus on figuring out, yes, today you do have a service provider, but in future, how can I come in? What price are they charging you? Uh, are they effective? How good are they? Are there any problems or any gaps that would make you decide to switch? If I could come in and fill in that gap, would you be willing to switch to me? So those are the sort of questions you would ask, uh, Farouk. We will get back to you. So we'll get back to you again. Some objections might, you might be looking at a time waster. Uh, they they came in, they asked what they wanted to ask, they got the information. Uh, Instead of giving you a hard no, they came in and said, "Listen, I'll get back to you later." Usually, Thelma, if you're going to get that objection, how I would handle it is I would put it in my hands as the person selling a product. Listen, I understand you'll get back to me later. However, it would be easier for me to get back to you. When is the best time for me to follow up and see if you'd be interested? Right? Take it away from them, because them saying we'll get back to you later is giving, they have the power. So you try and get that power back into your hands by creating a schedule. It goes back to the closing. How do we close? In terms of closing is not just getting payment or signing a contract. Every conversation, there must be clear action steps. When will you get back to me? Or wouldn't it be easier if I followed up with you? And when would be the best time to follow up with you? So I hope that answered. If there are any other uh, objections you guys are facing, you want clarity, is it an objection or a rejection, please feel free, put it in the chat. And if I didn't answer you adequately, or you feel I left out something, there's something itching you, uh, you really need me to clarify further, just put that in the chat as well. Okay, for now, I'm not seeing any comments. It's a minute to 8. It's literally 8 p.m. We've kept time, I hope. I look forward to hanging out with you guys again next week on Wednesday. Feel free again, send in your comments. Also, you could comment under the video once it's saved. We also respond to that. Awesome, Thelma. Thank you. So I would like to thank you all for joining and wish you a good night. Please feel free, take action, Feel free to also comment on the things you've taken action on. uh, it would be nice for me to see that the tips I'm giving you are actually working in your day to day. And if there's any room for improvement, I'm always willing to give you content that adds real value. So have a good evening, good night.